Hey guys, welcome back. Continuing my 100% walkthrough of Dark Souls 3. Now, we are going to go kill Osiris in this episode, so head on up from the Dancer's Bonfire. We're taking the left path, and we are in full black iron. You're not going to be in full black iron if you have to have a shield, but don't worry. We are going to get a ring that will help out our weight-bearing problems in just a minute. First of all, smooth backstab on this guy, then a charged heavy on wake up. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Gives a nice large Titanite shard. I do want his armor set. I don't even know if we could rock it though. The character that I rock Cathedral Knight armor on is a really goofy 170 soul level 170 character that I built just to see what it's like to PvP when you're over leveled like that. And the answer is actually you run into much worse people if you're over leveled. You know, you run into somebody, soul level 170, those people suck. They're just people who aren't familiar with what PvP is, and so you just invade them and crush them. It's kind of fun, actually. I do it occasionally. So, before we go into this area, I'm going to take off both of those, and in their place, I'm going to throw black fire bombs and regular fire bombs. There are abyssal creatures down here, and that is why we're doing this. So, drop on down to here for this item, Titanite chunk. Now, there you see they're walking. You can do two things. One, you can try to aim them, or do like finicky aiming things from up there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit them with a fireball. And then I'm just going to, while they're stunned from it, you just kill them. They all drop items. So we're going to get this. This area is toxic, which, sucks. You hate being toxic. There's another Cathedral Knight right in the center, so we're going to deal with him now. Ow. Ow. Give me that booty. Out here booping me with your shield. It's not very courteous, sir. And you get riposted for that. It's just rude. He needs to not do that. But now he knows. I taught him a lesson. Give me your item. No, still no armor. Very sad. Okay. Black firebombs back out. You can just be standing back here and lobbing them up at it. I think it's a little unnecessary. I mean, we're going to do something kind of similar to that right now, if I'm being honest. Roll away. And I'm going to run back up here. Once you've given them a second, they'll just go back to whatever they were doing before. I can't lock on and it's annoying me. My unlocked fireball game used to be strong, but now it is weak. It's been too long since I've done hardcore PvP regularly. I'm just going to run on up. He is going to follow me up here, but he should now get stunned again. Yeah. So if you just give him enough time, that ability to get stunned from a firebomb comes back. So if you just backpedal away, you will be able to hit him with that firebomb and get him to stun, so you don't have to worry about him hitting you. I do hate these guys just because, man, they hit hard and their moveset's impossible to understand. I think it was just purposefully done to be very strange. So throw 3 firebombs and then you just run away. Once you've gone a little bit, they de-aggro. You can come back. They will aggro quicker the second time. You just run in, give him a couple of whacks, and he's dead. So that's all 3 of those creatures. I am going to hit this guy. This guy's a trap. Not a very good trap, but... Now there's a whole bunch of items in here. So we don't need our firebombs anymore. I'm going to take them off. Put on blooming purple moss clumps because this is toxic, so head under this bridge, grab a dark gem, then run up the stairs, grab a titanite chunk, roll down. Here's the central courtyard. This is where Hawkwood's summon sign should be for you, right here. Don't summon him yet. We have more stuff to do, but we will summon him for the boss fight. Then from the Hawkwood sign, we're going to come around to the left. There's an item right here. Human pine resin. Then another item right here, Titanite chunk. This is a dead end, though it looks like it shouldn't be. Then we have all these guys lying around in the swamp. So you can kill these guys, and if you are doing a dark build, you want dark gems, grab this item. You can just go around killing these guys. I'm going to see if one of them will drop a dark gem for me. So these guys, as well as those abyssal monsters that we were fighting, they all drop. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so they can all drop. They all have like a chance to drop. It's a really low chance, but they do have a chance to drop dark gems. Shadow set and a claw. Claw is fun. Two-handed. It's very fast. But all these things in this swamp right here have chances to drop dark gems. And so if you're doing a dark build, you'll have your character all set up to already do good damage with pyromancies. So I would just recommend come down here with some fire, you know, throw Chaos Bed Vestige at each of the abyssal monsters, and you'll kill them pretty quickly. I think it takes 2 vestiges if you're at 30 and 30 with intelligence and faith. So grab this Ring of Sacrifice all the way back by the start. And then I believe in New Game Plus, there's an item like right here, but it's not here in New Game. It just always makes me look because I found it there that one time and my body remembers. So once you've grabbed all those items, this area is basically done. We're just going to get a shortcut area that is... Yeah, we're going to go get a shortcut. So you go up these stairs in here. There's another elevator that's going to take us up. And this will provide a shortcut back to the Dancer's Bonfire. And I'm clearly a little bit tired today. I'm having a little bit more trouble talking than is typical. I'm looking at my mic. I've still got the background static. I realize part of the problem is that it's recording when I'm not talking. So like while I'm talking, you don't notice it, but while I'm quiet, you really notice it. So this whole area is full of our little fighter guys. So we're just gonna run past them all, and up here are 2 guys that are gonna try to buff each other. They both need to die. Okay. Once you've done that, ow, buffed up, as you can see, they do a ton more damage. Okay. They also have more health. They die in 1 hit otherwise. So, kill all 3 of them and then come back here. Grab the Titanite scale. Just so you know, all of the optional areas in Dark Souls, that's where the best stuff is. So if you're trying to get a really highly upgraded weapon or multiple upgraded weapons, then you want to use the optional areas for that. Grab another Titanite chunk. As you can see, Titanite chunks are really rare in the straightforward mandatory game, but in all the optional areas, they're very common. So you want to make sure to come to them. So now, this is the bonfire. I'm not going to it. I'm not too concerned, but feel free to rest up. It's a quick run. All that you do is you just come into this room and you just sprint past everything. Nothing will aggro on you sharply enough to, you know, swarm you. There's only 3 of those things anyway. And you just run out here. Typically, 1 will follow you. And so you just come out here, stop right here, turn around, boop the one that decided to follow you, and then keep going. Come over to this elevator. So you're going to be taking it down this time, but you don't want to go all the way down. It's the same thing as the first time. You want to roll off early. So you just roll off right here. We are back in the Consumed King's Garden. You have a ring right here. Dragon Scale ring. It causes you to take less damage from backstabs. And kill this guy, and then you have 2 Cathedral Knights that we're going to kill before we summon Hawkwood. So these Cathedral Knights hit really hard. Perseverance is the way to victory with them. You do want to try to start the fight with this one with a backstab. Nice. And then as he's getting up, charged heavy. Perseverance. If you don't use Perseverance, that hit will send you flying. Yes, got some leggings. I like it. These guys can also drop their weapons. It's a good greatsword. Or ultra, should I say. Another backstab for you, sir. If you backstab them, just charge heavy on wake up. Other than that, Perseverance. Perseverance just makes you take so much less damage. Otherwise, these guys really hurt. Him dying gives you the magic stone plate ring, so increased resistance to magic damage. You can come on back here, go ahead and summon in Hawkwood. Be very careful. You don't want him to take extra damage. Make sure that you do kill these 2 Cathedral Knights before you summon him. Otherwise, the Cathedral Knights will do a bunch of damage to him, and he's going to end up wasting one of his heals. I think he's limited to 7 heals for this boss fight. Maybe 5. Not 100% sure. So, moving on to what this boss fight is. Let me go through the character himself. Boss fight Osiris. So he is weak to frost and lightning. He is immune to poison and toxic. It is a 2-phase fight. In the first phase, he's holding a staff. He's very laid back. He's just doing like slamming attacks. But he will pop up a fog. The fog does both frost damage and it applies curse to you. So just be aware, you do not want to stand in the fog. When it starts coming out of the ground, just space the boss out. Just stay away from it. Then in the second phase, he'll drop his staff and he'll just start running around really quickly. During that phase, you want to just roll his sprint attacks and wait until he crashes into a wall. He'll typically do a clompy, stompy thing into a wall, and then you can hit his butt. Stay on his butt. Try to stay under him as best you can. He does this tail swipe that does quite a bit of damage, but with 11 Estus like we've got right now, or 14 as you should have, if you rested the bonfire before the fight, you don't really need to be afraid of him. Other than that, there's nothing that you need for this boss fight other than our good old green blossoms. Make sure you use them. It really helps damage per second. You don't want this to be a long fight. This is one of the bosses you want to kill as fast as possible. I'm going to pop a green blossom. I'm going to come on in. This boss fight's funny because he is pretending to hold a baby, but there is no baby. So either he is crazy or the baby is invisible. Personally, I think he's insane. I mean, look at him. He used to be a person until he's a student of Seath the Scaleless. Look, so his arm is cradling. Look at that. Yes, child of dragons. There is no child. It's kind of a joke, but okay. Now, let's get this boss fight on, and hopefully it goes smoothly. We're going to find out, though. So, lock onto the boss. Just head straight towards him. And he's going to slam. Stay right at his crotch. That's fog. Get out of the fog. If you stay in it too long, you will start to get cursed. Hawkwood's just champing it because he's crazy. And now the boss is jammed into the wall. So now he's getting upset. So now he's going into the second phase. I'm going to pop another green blossom just so it doesn't run out. You can stagger him like we just did. And then he's doing his clompy, stompy thing. He usually ends that with a tail swipe. There's his charge. If you get hit by that, it'll dominate you. Make sure if you do get hit by it, you immediately heal, because he tends to charge, turn around, and charge again. There, he sweeps across and breathes crystals. There's his charge. So get up. Okay. I tried to heal, it didn't work. Just stay on that butt. Now he's staggered, which is nice. And roll, just run right through his legs. You don't even need to roll through his legs, as you can see. There's his tail swipe, but if you were just under that butt, it can't hit you. He's staggered again. That's charge. When he screams like that, he's going to charge. He can do it point blank like he just did. Just go right through those legs for the charge. Or for the stompy clompy thing, I should say. You can roll his tail swipe. Can do a magic blast out of his mouth. I'm trying to now lengthen the fight a little bit. He just does his stompy clompy. Yeah, Hawkwood, you do that pathetic damage. There's a jump. That's a charge. He's doing a stompy clompy. Tail swipe. Oh, hit me that time. Hawkwood finished him off. Thank you, Hawkwood. So that's boss fight. So as you can see, he does pretty decent damage, but as long as you're staying under that booty, just whack that booty, you'll be just fine. So, get his soul, and then we're going to go light this bonfire, and then we are going to progress right away to the next area. Feel free to rest. There's no reason not to rest at this bonfire. Grab your Estus back, but you don't need to head on back to Firelink. There's one enemy, and it is not a dangerous one, between a bunch of loot and the next area. So come on, just past the bonfire, open those doors. Okay. So this is a very secret area of the game. Most people don't even notice it till they see somebody on YouTube do it. So here's a dragon guy. You'll run into a bunch of these in an optional area that we're going to do later. Just come in here, kill the dragon guy. He dies. And then this is gesture, Path of the Dragon. You do that back at Irithel Dungeon, and it will teleport you to the optional area. Don't forget this chest. Titanite scale. Make sure you just like are scanning around this room. It's really easy to miss the chest. Then you come all the way back, and you pop this chest. Get that Titanite scale. This is an optional wall, or an invisible wall. Fake wall. False wall, whatever. So now, you are at Untended Graves. Best way to get down there, you can't just fall, it won't kill you. But I always run to the left because when you're playing online, people like to leave messages right here, and I always want to see what they say. But now you're in Untended Graves. Run just past that bonfire, grab this item. Then turn around and head on back to the bonfire. We're going to go spend our souls. This is a pretty dangerous area. But at the end of it, we do get one of my favorite rings in the game. So we're going to head on back to Firelink. As you can see, Untended Graves, it's a false version of Firelink. And so, you know, it's the exact same, but they replaced enemies with more challenging enemies. We're going to head on back, spend our souls, and in the next episode, we will deal with Untended Graves. It's a very nice little area. It doesn't take very long. There is an NPC invasion, but it's, in my opinion, the easiest NPC encounter in the game, so you don't need to really sweat that. First off, we are going to check out what awesome boss weapons we get from Osiris. I want to say it's just magic, like spells. We'll see. So White Dragon Breath, which is not a good spell. Takes 50 int, and at that level, you're just better off with Crystal Soul Spear. And the Moonlight Greatsword, which is the greatsword that if you are going to level intelligence and be a caster and you want a sword, that's for you. So we're going to buy the Moonlight Greatsword. It's a cool weapon. Obviously, we're not going to be able to use it because we are not leveling up intelligence, but it's always fun to have. Then we're going to level on up. So we are now back to leveling Vigor, Endurance, Strength, and Dexterity. So put a point in Vigor, point in Endurance. You're good. Alright. And we are just going to head on back to Untended Graves. So that'll wrap up this episode. I'm not going to, make an episode that's 30 minutes long unnecessarily. It just takes too long to upload when I do that. Plus, I want you guys to be able to, flip through it fairly easily. Just skip through the video. If you're just there for the boss fight, you can skip to the boss fight. And I want to keep that going. So that's going to be it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. In the next episode, we will take out Untended Graves.